taking an AI product, right, from demo to production, things can go wrong and how to put the users first. Right. I will go over roughly 4 points that I learned over the past decade and related to various projects that I work with and I want to bring with. First things first, I think many people have heard about using the recent advances of ChatGPT, of RAG, which is AI-powered search, to build tools that can answer questions, right, and help your users, building co-pilots. And I'm going to talk about what things can go wrong, right, once you go and take your product, or your tech demo that you have, right, the thing that you build in a hackathon, once you take this out in the real world. First things first, I love RAG, it's so great to demo, and the experiences we have over and over again is once you build something and you take it out there, people come back with a lot of issues that we haven't seen. So let's talk about a few of them, right? First of all, you have the semantic search, which is using AI to create some kind of embedding, and you can find documents related to the question of the user, which works like magic, right? It's great. And as soon as people start uploading hundreds or thousands of files, it actually spits out the wrong document more often than not. Especially once you have conflicting information, once you have duplicate information that's slightly different context. This is where filtering and metadata stuff becomes vitally important. Intent detection is one other option, right, to change these kind of things. Let's say, right, you have your users. I'm talking about a very specific use case in a bit. The more you can narrow down which documents you're going to search using this semantic search, the better results can be. Right, so you need to figure this thing out. The guiding principle we use here, going back, the current topic of this talk is going to be user-centric design, is what is important to the user, right? What do they care about? When they ask a question, they usually have a subset of the documents in mind they want to search through. Spreadsheets, right? They can be uploaded documents. So the more we use this as a guiding principle, the better the search usually gets. Right? LLMs can help you a lot. But there's a huge trade-off. I want to argue against using LLMs for everything, right? I mean, it works like magic. And with the newspapers, if you read them, if you use an LLM 20 times, right, to perform multiple searches, to combine the results, accuracy goes up and up and up. But at what cost, right? If it takes 5 minutes to get an answer, is maybe not as useful as a tool. In some instances, it might be, but not really. In organizations, right, you run into the issue of dirty data, dirty documents, drafts, people that are no longer there, references to documents that no longer exist. Right? So the real world is really messy, and figuring that complexity out, plus basic RAG, usually gives much better results than just trying to get one LLM prompt, right? You search for one prompt that just fixes everything. So the question is now, how do we look at our system, right? So we take our system out of the world, and how do we get feedback that helps us make this product a better working system? I want to talk about the first example in this talk, right? Slide generation for consultancies. So we work with consultancies that upload thousands of documents, and their main core business is to create new presentations based on the existing ones. When they do so, they do different phases, every document that they upload, every presentation has different sections, right? And every slide is of a different type. Maybe it's a roadmap, right? Maybe it's an introduction, maybe it's something else. So users look for, hey, I want a team overview from an automotive project that we had in the last 3 months. You can use all this information to filter on the metadata beforehand. But you need an AI model for that to detect what slide is what content, what slide is what information to accurately filter these things. Especially with recent and successful projects, right? We found a huge benefit once we slightly bump up the search results in the recent projects in the last 3 months, because these tend to be the majority. So there's a chance of these being outdated. And we're looking for silly things, right? Underscore version 1, version 2, version 3, right? This is how we all make our final PowerPoint presentations every single time. And just looking for these suffixes, just looking for the latest one. Helps making the product more successful. There's also conflicting knowledge. There's a ton of paper and how to resolve these things, but if you don't tackle them, sometimes RAG will just combine snippets of different sources that say the opposite, and it's very confusing. So you need to find a way to handle this. So from prototype to production, I would argue using LLMs can first be quite different. we like LMPL, one of the open source libraries that can help you to basically streamline how the LLM works and like restrict outputs to the end. So you can even tell it like, I only want like 120 words, I only want one of these 5 options as a result, and that way you can know what you can do, right? The LLM does not give you one sense of words. But LLMs can also make it easier to bootstrap existing applications, right? I'm a huge fan of taking Hugging Face models, fine-tuning them for your use case. Let's say you have a 10 classification, right? So you're building a fintech product, and users have like 5 types of questions that they ask, and you want to run different code, different prompts, different search results, different search filters based on these questions. If you identify which of these 5 types of things, it's much better. If you use LLMs for that, the accuracy is greater than 95% correct. So sometimes it's really frustrating for the users when they try to reformat, rephrase the question you just asked in the hopes that the AI makes as well. So if you build a model that does this faster and more accurately, it's a lot better. Also, we have to talk about data-driven concept, right? So in the long term, what users talk about changes. Also, if you have multiple teams using your software, multiple companies using your software, right? They will use different lingo and different words in your model's content. So how do we make sure the quality of the AI increases? To the next point, data monitoring. First of all, it's very important to maybe if you start out with a tech demo, you don't think about this, but once you make it production, you want to record all the interactions with each other. Right? You want to know what was said, right? What did the rapid pipeline do? What are the search scores? What documents were used? What filters were used? So we want to improve your AI models. So you can see what was the output, you build a new model, you build one, you see which one you get better. MLflow, is one of these tools we can use to collaborate with other people, upload the models, evaluation metrics, also check research. There's a myriad of other tools that support that. But how do you know that a new model is actually, right? So one example I like to use, I was working on like one small short text specification problem with a very small team. And it turns out that in the beginning we just had a method right? They would classify important texts, right? So that would result in a database and use this for one stream applications. And it's great, but then we were figuring out like, oh, now all these new models are coming in place, and LLMs are coming in, right? Which of these can we use? How do we A/B test it? How do we know which ones are good? And so we managed to build an application that basically, for example, running a model kernel and then saving all the answers, but only using some of them. We use AWS Lambda quite successfully to run very small models. And so people, the data scientists, would like bootstrap new models and run them in parallel in production without them affecting the outcome. Nice side effect is after a while we discovered if you combine multiple models in one software, you use accuracy less than right? The thing is, if you don't run your models in production, the new model, right, you don't know if it's actually performing better in production. You know that it performs better now the data you've seen, but you don't know what's going to happen, right? Same goes true for like outliers. Once you get data that is like very different from what everything you've seen before, you do want to find a way to track this data, add it to the training set, or discard it, or have some error. So what I'm going to argue for is user-centric AI development. This is like, there's like a couple of papers if you look about like 25 years ago, it's still extremely relevant, where they argue that you don't want to surprise the user, you want to have them work with AI and dictate. So you have to set the right expectations from the start. You can tell the user, my AI is 100% accurate, it's always accurate, it never works like this. So the more you can involve the user, the more you can use it to create a feedback cycle. I think that's a really powerful thing to make this talk. Because once you have this feedback cycle, the text classification in the beginning, right? Text classification, the search results, as long as the users get feedback, right? You have actionable data you can use to improve AI models and the workflows. For example, in a simple search, right? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs straight. So if people actually use that, if it exists to find a search, you can use a new model, you can use a new model, you can compare it to all the thumbs up, thumbs down impressions you got, you can see the new model is better. Design principles, very briefly, right? If there's something non-reversible, you can ask the user for approval, you can surface errors without intervention, right? If your AI is sending emails, you can't take the feedback, right? Like dashboards can be uploaded after. And that's a really powerful technique. One last example for fintech, right? For example, we have one application perfect with that user. Right? That's it.